Thanks, guys. Before we go to sports, Alix Schiraldi has a story on athletes who compete with diabetes.
Many athletes at Baker are concerned with preparing for the big game, but two students have more to think about than just playing well. Taylor Edging and Heather Gruber have to constantly monitor themselves during the game due to a unique circumstance, diabetes.
Some days it's hard, some days it's not. It just depends on how my blood sugar is. You have to check your blood sugar every time you eat, and any time you feel like your blood sugar is low or high. You have to take insulin after every meal or every snack you eat, unless you're low. And then if you're low, you're not supposed to take a shot. But other than that, it's pretty simple.
Edging, a Baker football player, and Gruber, a pitcher for the Baker softball team, both have been diagnosed diabetic since they were kids.
It's not hard living with it because I'm so used to it now, and it's just kind of a part of the things I have to do from day-to-day basis. Basically, I just have to, it's a big balancing act, keeping my blood sugar in check with what I'm eating, taking enough insulin to cover the carbs I'm eating, making sure it's at a good level for activities and everything. So it's just basically a big balancing act every day with how much I eat and how much insulin I take.
Diabetes is a disease where the body doesn't produce the right amounts of insulin, and insulin is used to convert sugar and other types of food into energy that we all need in our daily lives. Both athletes experience diabetes on a daily basis, but they take care of their bodies differently. Gruber uses an insulin pump to regulate the amounts of insulin her body needs.
The pump for me is kind of like an artificial pancreas because my pancreas doesn't work at all. That's what makes me type 1. Every hour it's giving me so much insulin, and then every time I eat I can tell it to give me a certain amount based on the amount of carbs I'm eating or how much sugar I have. So I can just dial in how much I want, and I do that instead of taking shots. I used to take 5 shots a day, but on the pump I can just take that, and then I can go out and eat whenever I want. I can skip a meal, I can sleep in. I'm not on such a tight schedule being on the insulin pump, so it's really nice, especially being in college and being so active and stuff.
Yeah. Gruber also explains that she checks her pump before the games to make sure it's set at 200, which is different from her regular level at 120.
So before the games and practice, I have to make sure that it's at a certain level so that I can, because activity makes it go down, so I have to make sure that I'm at a certain level so I can get through the game. But softball's kind of hard because it's not, sometimes you're kind of just standing there, you're not running, or like I used to play basketball and that was easy to regulate, but softball's kind of hard because it just depends. And like I'm a pitcher, so if I'm pitching then I'm really active and I'm using a lot more energy, but if I'm just standing at first or if I'm not playing that game, then it's kind of hard because I don't want it to go too high, but yet I don't want to have issues during the game. So it's kind of hard just with that sport, but you know, I'm getting used to it now. I mean, I am used to it now.
Edging is also a type 1 diabetic, but he relies on insulin shots.
And the shots aren't that bad. Little needles. No, they're little needles, not big needles.
Playing football helps Edging regulate his weight, which is a big part of diabetic maintenance. He also takes a shot after every meal, snack, and if his levels become too high.
I'm set on a certain number of carbohydrates a day, and if I eat more than that, it messes up my insulin dosage. So I've got to stick to a pretty set scale of what I can and can't have. Like, I can't eat a candy bar or drink a regular soda any time of the day. I have to eat a certain amount of carbohydrates every meal and check my blood sugar to see if I need extra insulin, if it's high or not. So pretty much anything with a lot of sugar, I cannot have.
Like many other athletes out there with diabetes, they both are able to function normally and live their everyday lives.
A lot of people thinks it sucks, but most of the things today are made with Splenda anyway, so you can have still the same things and still live a normal life. All you gotta do is take a shot.
This has been Alix Schiraldi, KNBU TV.
Thanks, Alix. We're going to take another quick commercial break, but hang around because sports is up next.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that commercial. I'm Chris Smith alongside Zach Rocky here. We're going to kick off the sports segment this week. Start with a big-time win over Benedictine, the football team.
Well, another tough matchup for the Wildcats this weekend. Benedictine came in with a record of 3-3, and luckily for the Wildcats, Benedictine left with a record of 3-4. Wildcats played great this weekend. Offensively for Baker, Mac Brown threw for over 236 yards with 2 touchdowns. Richie Bryan, 134 yards rushing with a touchdown himself. And defensively, the Wildcats played great. They were able to hold off the Ravens at the end of the game. Let's see, Matt Brock had 13 tackles, Madison Morris had 5, Levi Calhoun had 5, so the Wildcats definitely stepped it up towards the end of the game and played great. They'll
One more aside, don't mean to interrupt you, Zach. One more aside, special teams also played really well. Derek Dorff, now the all-time leading field goal kicker here in Baker history. So congratulations to Derek, also earning Special Teams Player of the Week honors for the second time this season.
Exactly. Now the Wildcats are 3-3. They'll travel to Iowa this weekend where they'll play Graceland. So that's Wildcat football. Great job this weekend. Now we're going to talk about a little bit Baker soccer.
Yeah, the other football, the worldly football. Baker soccer came away with a pretty good weekend against Mo Valley on the road. Pretty tough squad, especially kind of a tough field to play out there. But the men walked away with a draw, their fourth of the season. Matt Germain was the man that tied the score up 1-1 as Mo Valley got on top of them early. However, the women walked away with a big 3-0 victory. Maggie Dupes getting another shutout on the season. She's played fantastic. Couple of goal scorers, Jen Sampson, Rachel Shepard, and Jenny Haynes. So the women playing fantastic. In command in the conference, they'll look to get a 1 or a 2 seed as we move forward. Just 2 games left, but there's a big one this weekend at Lindenwood on the road. Good luck to the Wildcats.
All right, let's talk about a little Baker volleyball. They were off this past weekend. However, they will be playing this weekend in the Baker double duel. They'll look to improve on their record of 25-3. They'll play teams like Haskell, Central Methodist, and College of the Ozarks. So good luck to the Lady Wildcats this weekend, and that's going to wrap it up for this week's sports. Back to you in the studio, Mary.
Thanks, guys. Good luck to all our sports team competing this week. I'm Mary Loveland. Be sure and tune in next week for another episode of Orangeline.